per aspera ad astra. This is a famous quote from the NASA team. Ladies and gentlemen, Madame Toastmaster, today, by the end of my speech, you will learn the meaning of this phrase and how it applies to my life. I was born in Almat region. Being the youngest child in my family, I have the splendid, carefree, delightful childhood until I entered the school. Then all of a sudden, I became the worst student in my class. I was bad at reading, writing. I was actually one of the weakest students in my class, even weaker than the girls. And luckily for me, my family moved from the town and I switched to another school. The same pattern continued until the middle school, where one sudden realization came to my life in front of warning of my father. It was late evening. I asked my sister to do my math class home assignment for myself. So she agreed to do so. Everything went according to my plan until my father caught us up in the middle of this cry. And he was livid, angry, almost shouting at me, saying that actually I'm not outsmarting this system. I'm failing myself. If I continue to do the same thing like I did that night, I'll lose in my life. That's why he told me, stay in the room and do your homework assignment by yourself. And then you can come and enjoy the dinner with us. It took me several hours to accomplish 30 minutes math assignment that day. The next day, I did a few minutes faster. So the cycle of transformation started. Until I fall in love with my math. And other subjects like geography, chemistry. Even my classmates start to seek my advice and help to do their home assignments. Then, after graduation of my high school, I applied to medical university. And there was only one single reason to do so. It was because of my fragile health, and I wanted to learn why I developed canker sores in my mouth and have the migraines every now and then. So I embarked into the journey of rigorous studies, sleepless nights, of pouring through the huge critical textbooks of anatomy, physiology, the pathology, etc. Having graduated my university, I was one of the top students, received my red diploma.
Ooh.
Yeah. And however, I still didn't know why I developed my canker sores and a migraine in the first place. I didn't get the answer, unfortunately. Then, later on, I started practicing as a doctor. I grew frustrated on this practice, and I switched my major to become a health policy and to get into this field of health policy and management. There, I learned some managerial techniques, skills, some tool sets related to the data science. But eventually, I come up with one thing. I was actually overlooking my biggest fear, which is public speaking fear. I was low on self-confidence. So I started to discover the ways that I can improve myself as a public speaker. And I found out 2 years ago the Toastmasters here in Astana. I joined this club. I delivered a few terrible, very terrible speeches here. Until one of my mentors, then I said, Omerbayev, who is a DTM in our club, told me, hey Almat, actually, you cannot cook the omelette without few broken eggs. Which means, without few bad speeches, you cannot learn how to deliver the good, better ones. So I started practicing my speech, started delivering. And then I felt that my public speaking skills have improved dramatically. I started to receive the best speaker awards. Later, I noticed that our leaders, then Yulan Mirbek, Kanat Bazarlı, they had dramatic changes in their leadership style. They became better as leaders. So I decided to do the same. I decided to improve my leadership skills in our club. And now, in my journey of improvement my skills, I learn from my mistakes, get the feedback from my amazing team that surrounds me. And to wrap up my speech, I would like to conclude with the following. You heard the phrase per aspera ad astra, which means through the hardships to the stars. Or, in other words, without getting your hands dirty, you will not improve yourself. Madame Toastmaster.